This is a short video that demonstrates the create, read, update and delete capabilities within the Symphony Framework. Using templates, we've code generated a simple maintenance program from the user table in the repository structure, and we can now, after entering the primary key, modify the fields within the record area. If we resize the application, we can still access all the fields because we've enabled scroll bars. And if we enter invalid data, we highlight this at a field level, and the tooltip indicates why the field is in error. And we also disable the save and exit button. Valid data re-enables the save and exit button. As well as being able to amend records, we can create new ones, and we've implemented all the standard toolkit/repository field validation, and the tooltips are indicating that the fields are invalid. And until they're all valid, we can't execute the save and exit button. And of course, with any good maintenance program, you can also delete records. Once you've located a record, you can hit the delete button. A powerful feature of the maintenance program is the search capability. If we hit the search button without any criteria, we'll load up to the result set value of records, which was defined as 500. If we change that to 5000, we'll see that the entire file contains 577 records. We'll change that to a meaningful 100. If we do the search, we'll get 100 records, and we can scroll up and down the list. But we can filter it using these fields at the top of the list. So if we enter Peter into the username, we only see records where Peter is contained within the username field, which is why we see Mike Peters. But what if we want to search on something that doesn't appear at the top? For example, to find via an email. Well, what we can do is hit the expander and locate the email field and add it to our selection criteria. Now we can enter a value into email and hit the search button, and we only see records returned to the list where Peter is contained within the email address. And we can sub-filter things as well and add additional items to the criteria. So now we only see records where email contains Peter and the user company contains BSC. If we, however, uncheck and remove the user company from the selection criteria, it's then no longer used in the query of the database. This hint icon, if you hover over it, guides you through what options are available within the program. If we drag the splitter down, we can now highlight these fields that we want to see as columns within our results grid. Checking and unchecking them will add or remove them to the results view. Now if we clear email and search again for the first top 100, we now see all the 100 items with the additional columns displayed. We can sort the columns, and of course we can reorder them. Highlighting and double clicking an item brings it in and takes you into modify mode, where you can make the required changes. When you go back into the list, it remembers your selection criteria and remembers the results list. Here we're just selecting all the records for Peter in the email address and just making modifications. So if we modify the top one and then go back in, we'll see our modifications have been retained. An advanced feature though, in another program, this file contains over 112,000 records. And we have another code generated Symphony maintenance program here that maintains this leads file, which as I said contains over 112,000 records. Obviously we're limiting ours to 500 and now 5,000, but this hint icon at the bottom gives us an indication of what we can do. So if we hover over the status bar items, we can see that, for example, a double click on the progress bar will actually cancel the search. So here we can see the search in adding the records, and then if we double click it, we can see that we've cancelled it. We don't have the full 5,000 in the list anymore. So we'll change that again to a reasonable number, and now we can do some filtering. So for example, we only want to find people with the last name that contains Zoll. And we can do further filtering by locating, for example, the first name field and adding it to our selection criteria. And we can enter Rob and do the search. And now we only get Rob in the first name and Zoll in the last name. And these are not keys, so this is searching the entire file, and you can see the speed of the select query capabilities within Synergy now, which is enhanced and utilised within this Symphony Framework maintenance program. So if we keep extending this value, eventually we'll find out how many Roberts we actually have in our database. And we can see there's 2,136. So returning 2,000 records from 112, you can see the speed of the new select capability within Synergy. And that's the new create, read, update and delete capabilities using templates, code generated from repositories within the Symphony Framework.